Have you ever started up a console? Well, of course you have. But have you ever paid attention to that startup screen? Now, I assume when you start up a console, you put in the disc or load up a digital game and you start. That's it. But have you ever paid attention to the startup screen? What's a startup screen, you might ask? Well, it's that little screen that loads up before the menu loads up. Now, some of you might be confused because, yes, not all consoles have a startup screen, but most do. And some of them are memorable as hell. Now, first thing that might come to mind is the PlayStation 1 load up screen or the Gamecube load up screen. But there's a lot more memorable and pretty beautiful startup screens. I handpicked 18 consoles that I'm going to grade using the American grading system. How am I going to grade them? Well, it's not going to be very scientifical, but it's mainly going to be on how good they look, how memorable they are, and if they have something unique about them. Now, when I say startup screens, what I specifically mean is when you boot up the console, you have a little image with sound and something showing off a logo or something, and that's it. Anything after that point is what I consider a menu, or options, or the game loading up. I'm talking about everything before that. That 3 to 10 seconds of just pizzazz before the console moves on to what it needs to do. Now, this is all opinion based. This is my opinion, not anyone else's. It's not like I'm a teacher. It's not like I'm actually grading these people for some kind of event. I just love video games. I mean, if you ever see me live stream, I have a wall of video games. I love video games, so I like to almost nitpick on the little things about them. What we're going to do is we're going to start at Xbox, then move on to PlayStation, then to Nintendo. Now, Xbox will be all of the Xbox consoles, PlayStation will be all the PlayStation consoles with a few handhelds, and then Nintendo will be handpicked, because not all Nintendo consoles have startup screens, but, this is kind of handpicked. So, without further ado, let's start off with the Xbox original. Now, with the Xbox original, it's very flashy. I mean, most startup screens are a little, little something, and then you move on. But Xbox puts on a show. This is their first ever console, and they give us this almost sci-fi Dexter's Lab tech intro. I mean, wow. I mean, if we were going off menus, I know there were some secret Easter eggs with the menus, but for the Xbox and its first console, simple. Well, not simple, but you know what I mean. It gets the job done. It shows you, hey, we're here to put out something big. I would have to give the Xbox original a B+. Kind of teetering on a B. Not really onto an A, but a good B+ would be my grade for it. Oh, the Xbox 360. Fuck. I don't know if this is like the teacher picking out his favorite student, but God almighty, I love this thing. Oh, I grew up on the Xbox 360. That's all I gotta say. But the the swoosh in, the beautiful green, the sound, the everything. Oh. Now, the Xbox 360 apparently did have different variations of an intro, and a few of these consoles will, and I'll try to bring that up when they come up, but I'm just handpicking one out of a few. Now, if you'd like me to go through the variations of these menus, or these startup screens, I will, but, wow. Beautiful. Yeah, if you can't tell, especially with the comment of, teacher having a favorite kid. This intro gets an A+. I mean, wow. Like I said, that might be nostalgia, but wow. Perfect. The Xbox One is basic. Now, at least for me, this generation of consoles had very basic startup screens. They barely even cared. And when I get to PlayStation, you'll hear my gripes with this, but gets the job done. It's kind of like the Xbox 60, a little whoosh in and nice little sound, but huh, uh, eh. I'm not even gonna do a separate screen for this to get to see. I mean, it's kind of a mix between the Xbox One and the Xbox 360. Now, the Xbox original had a kind of uniqueness to it, but now I'm looking at it, the Xbox 60, Xbox One, and Xbox Series are almost all the same. Whoosh in a nice little flash and logo. Now, Xbox 60 did it perfectly, I will say. Xbox One, but the Xbox Series did do better than the Xbox One. Now, I will say, like I said, it's not unique. Kind of just does the same as the others. So, I mean, without, using the unique category, I'm going to say this one gets just a, put it at an A minus. Yeah. A minus. It would be an A, but like I said, just not unique. Now, just to let you know, I'm going to try not to let this muddle in my gradings, but I'm an Xbox fan. I do like PlayStation here and there, and Nintendo, but even with that, this intro, wow. I mean, I've never played a PlayStation 1, barely here and there, actually, but wow, this is loud. It is letting you know, hey, we made this. You're playing this. And if you are a PlayStation fanboy, like people like Cat Icarus, you know PlayStation. Now with the PlayStation 1, I'll give it a ranking of let's give it an A. Good A. Good solid A. Could be an A plus. Just an A. Now, I know I said I'm going off the American grading system, but this one gets its own category, A++. Now, the PlayStation 2, even though I'm an Xbox fanboy, was dear in my heart. I mean, I knew when I thought of startup screens, this is the first one I think of. And I know some people think of the PS1 or GameCube, but for me, it will always be the PS2, and it is so unique. Now, if we just talk about the intro itself, the sound going in, the whooshing through these white towers, which I will get to later. And then if you have a disc in, the PlayStation 2 logo. Oh, beautiful. Now, I know that might be a menu thing, because I'm not bringing up the fact that the actual menu, the little swirl, oh, so beautiful. But I'm not grading that part. Mainly just talking about the whoosh in with the white towers and then the PlayStation logo. But it has something unique about it. Those white towers, that's your save data. Now, if you play a PlayStation 2 with either no memory card or no save data on those memory cards, you'll be in a black void of nothing. But if you have save data, and a lot like me, you're going to see all these white towers everywhere. And when you learn about that fact, you think, wow, I have no life. I know I spoiled it, but this gets A++. Sorry. It's gorgeous. Now, for the PSP only having one analog stick, it's quite a beautiful intro. It's, very calming, very peaceful. That's what I've noticed about, other than the PS1, moving on, PlayStation is very peaceful with their intros. Uh, I don't know. This one you could argue, but I give it a B plus, maybe a B, maybe an A minus. But I think B plus for it being so simple and so beautiful. It's that perfect level. And this one I feel even more weird about. The PlayStation 3 I have very little experience with. I recently, recent being a few years ago, had a PlayStation 3. So I wasn't with PlayStation 3 when I grew up with it. I grew up on 360. But PlayStation 3 is still a very beautiful console from everything. From its games to its startup to its build to its everything. They did lose a console war, but the intro, and this one does have multiple too, but for the most recent one, I don't know. I don't like the sound. The image is very beautiful, and then the warning screen. It's just so weird. This one might be disagreed on. I'll give it a C plus. I'm gonna be short and not so sweet with this one. This one sucks. Technically, it's more of a menu. I'd debate even having it on here, but it's just a sound. It's a sound. It's a good sound. I don't know. It's an F. No question about it. Don't be a PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 5 is a better PlayStation 4, I'd say. Like Xbox One to Xbox Series. I don't know. It's just so little. So. I like the pixie dust flying through the air, but that's about all it is. It's more of a menu. A little animation, little animation, and better sound. I don't mean to be mean to PlayStation, but I'll give it a D plus. It gets the job done, but job's not beautiful. Now let's move on to Nintendo. One that has a lot of startup screens. If you kind of pluck through the ones that most people have never even seen, I might leave that for a separate video, but let's start with the ones that I handpicked out. The ones that I have a bit more connection with. First off, Game Boy. I don't know why the Game Boy one is so beautiful for being so basic too. Now, the bad thing is it doesn't really tell you what you're playing. If someone just showed you this, you might think, okay, it's a Nintendo console. Which one? Now, if you know the sound, technically, you can know, oh, this is the Game Boy original. But, this one kept flipping through my head. Because it's nostalgic, don't get me wrong. But it's very basic. I know I keep using B words a lot, basic and beautiful, but, yeah, I'm gonna have to slap this one with a... That's what it is. Let's give it a C plus. Yeah. Let's look in C plus-ish. Okay, good. Game Boy with a little bit of color. Now you can tell it's a Game Boy Color. Kinda. Man, they really didn't try for the Game Boys. Uh, so I'm not gonna do the same. Uh, C plus ish. I mean, I don't know. They're all very basic. Wow, you just grab the same thing but put a little animation on it. And a nice little sound, nice, cool sound. I can put between a C plus and a B minus. You know what? Binus. I don't know. C plus binus. It's a little better, but not enough to bump it up a grade. It's a C plus minus. Yeah. C plus minus. Okay. Here's one that I don't have a lot of knowledge of personally, but if you've been on the internet for, I guess it's not a trend. It's not trendy anymore. If you were in the internet in the around, let's say, 2016 to 2020, all you knew was the GameCube intro. People would make images with it. They'd use the sounds. It's a very unique and beautiful intro. The sounds going, making a cube. Does its job. It's a GameCube, and it does have some uniqueness to it. If you plug in a certain amount of controls, if you plug in, I think it's 2 controllers, you get a different sound, and if you plug in 4 controllers and hit Z, you get a different sound. So it comes with a little bit of Easter eggs for a startup screen. Most startup screens don't have Easter eggs. Main menu, maybe. Not a startup screen. Might not be putting this in the right spot because, like I said, I don't personally have enough with it, but based on how the internet loves it, give it an A plus. It's a good A plus. Yeah. DS, just splashing on it and splashing its top screen, bottom screen. I didn't even realize that until I was actually reviewing it because I haven't played a DS in forever. But wow, I like it. It's simple. Don't get me wrong, but it gets the job done. You're playing a DS. We got 2 screens. A little pizzazz before you load on into the menu. I have to give this one let's give it a solid B plus. Good job, Timmy. Now argue with me all you want. I know it's technically not a startup screen, or the little bit of startup screen it is more of a warning page. But the Wii menu is very nostalgic, and I feel like I couldn't have left it out without giving it some kind of mention. But just like the PlayStation 4, it's more of a sound with a warning screen. So I don't know, bump it up a bit because of the nostalgia, but it gets a B minus. Now, if we're going based off the menu is beautiful, but that's a topic for a later time. I don't know why. It's a very nice loading or startup screen, but I don't know why I don't like it. It's almost like the DS. It's a little splash of what you're playing, and then a little strobe to kind of hint at 3D. I don't know. I won't give it the same as the DS, but to It's a B?
Where's the B?
There's a B.
Yeah, I give it a B. Maybe a B minus, but a B. Yeah, I like the red and black. Don't get me wrong. My first 3DS was a red and black, but B. Now, this might be because I already have beef with the Wii U, because I can't create a me without my Wii U crashing that I bought recently. But what's with the sound? It's like when a TV messes up and it repeats the last sound it heard multiple times. I mean, yeah, it shows you, hey, I'm playing a Wii U. I don't really know if that's a thing you should hype up, but I don't want to give it such a low rating, but wow, I give it a D. Teetering on a D, maybe an F plus. It's not a grade, but whatever. But a D, not a D minus. Just so basic, and probably people haven't seen the Wii U startup screen that much because people played the 3DS more. Kind of with how the Wii and the PlayStation 4 are, they had a little bit of a startup screen, but some consoles either have a one-time startup screen when you first buy it, or very, very brief audio or visual that you barely notice it. Now, I didn't include those. Now, I could go back and review the one-time startups or the variations or any of those things, but for now, I decided to not include them for simplicity's sakes. Going through these and going through the generations, I've noticed some of them get a lot less flashy and a lot quicker. And do we really want that? Now, I know with PC, our goal is to get into a game as quick as possible, but I feel like console is meant for comfort. C for comfort, C for console. But let me know what you think. I love startup screens. I think they give a little pizzazz if they're short, sweet, and quick. But as consoles move on, I guess we have to move on too. Now, here are all the consoles rated if it was a tier list. Now, if you disagree with them, let me know. If you agree with them, let me know. But either way, I kind of proud of these. Yeah. I mean, startup screens are startup screens. They introduce you to the console or the game or whatever, but yeah. I think this is pretty accurate. Just don't take my word for it. I'm not a teacher. Never would be. Props to you if you are a teacher, though.